Students like me wait with anticipation for our readings to come out. I've been reading since I was very young, and I really love it. I like learning about new things and how people think and what makes them do the things that they do. I can see different places and understand different perspectives and gain more knowledge through books. So this year, when the book list came out, I was intrigued to see what we would be reading. When the list came, I was instantly disappointed. Yet, another list of authors and characters and stories and themes that looked nothing like me. Not one book by a black author with black characters was there. Not one book with other people of color. An all white reading list was sitting right in front of me. I was disappointed, but not discouraged. Also, I really wasn't surprised. I had become accustomed to this, but this time I felt comfortable enough to say something. I felt like maybe my voice will hold more weight now because I'm a little bit older. But I was tired of seeing and reading the same thing. So I knew exactly what I needed to do. I immediately wrote an email. I emailed two of my teachers and sounded the alarm. They referred me to our dean. My email was kind. I told them that this was not okay, and there wasn't a representation of anyone who wasn't white in our books. One teacher was a bit more enthusiastic in her response. She seemed open to hearing what I had to say and suggested I speak with the dean. The other teacher told me the same thing. She was just a lot less enthusiastic. She replied with a one-liner that said, "Refer to the principal." I don't think she thought I would follow through with it, but I did. I emailed the upper school dean and we had a meeting. During our meeting, I explained that it's not okay, that the people that we learn about in school are one kind of person and represent one very linear view of life. We need to learn more about diverse groups. I should be reading books in school that are representative of me and so many of my peers who also attend the school. She also explained that those stories and books need to go beyond the same black heroes that they often give us their whitewashed viewpoint of, like Rosa Parks and Dr. King. She was receptive to what I had to say, and we had a few email correspondences after that. It was challenging for her to come with African American books that were in our age range. I took a step back for a few weeks before I sent an email reminder. She said that it might not happen this year. So then I decided to find some suggestions of my own. I did one internet search and sent her the list. I did that in one search. I'm not sure what was so difficult about that for her. Maybe she wasn't looking in the same places I was. Either way, she said she accepted my suggestion of a book by a black author, and now we're supposed to read it. I chose to speak up because I believe it was the right thing to do. I'm not a spokesperson for all black students, but I know that this is important. I know that representation matters, and it can be the thing to make the difference between how we see ourselves and how we operate in the future. I know that my voice and convictions are only this strong because of the voices that came before me, like Muhammad Ali. I feel very connected to him. He decided not to fight in the Vietnam War. He didn't just refuse to go because he had a family or because he was a boxing champion. He chose not to go because he did not believe in it. He didn't believe it was right. And the most important thing about that is that he didn't just make a statement and step away from it. He gave reasons and encouraged other people to do the same. And he explained why it wasn't okay. He stood up for what he believed in, no matter what the cost. Part of the reason that I know his story is because I've read about it. I felt inspired by it, and it made me know that when I see something that is not right, I must speak up. I ran the risk of alienating myself from my classmates or facing backlash or ridicule from the teachers or the dean. But I know that I have to use my voice. That's not up for debate. If it had the possibility to make even a little change, then I've made a difference. There will come a day when we won't have to continue to fight for this kind of representation. But until then, I will always speak up.
And now, a poem. Some would have you believe that your voice doesn't have power until it has met 18 ripe years of age. If you are not legal to cast your ballot, if you have not turned that tassel, done that dance across the stage, that your existence isn't exactly relevant, that your convictions aren't quite matured, they would have you be silent. Tell that fire inside of you to please be quiet while the world around you is already at war. Created before your conception, please understand that there is a method to the madness. There are rules and regulations there, death and devastation here, and there's more on the way if they have their shot at it. There are those who are invested in the simple fact that you won't move. They have worked their magic on other generations and they are counting on you to turn a blind eye to. They are hoping for your acceptance, praying after prayer that you won't get it, and making choices and decisions without your input in it that are going to directly impact and cause problems for you. And then there are those of you with a fire, something burning inside to be greater than yourselves. You see the problem and you see the solutions, but your fear won't allow you to stand up and help. You won't be that lone wolf crazy person talking about social change when everyone else in school is talking about what they saw on TV. You won't be the teenage renegade when your peers are cool with kicking it in the streets. You are suffering silently in the background when your spirit says lead. But there is nothing divine in choking your voice. No merit in standing down when you should be standing out. Fear is a valid emotion, but victory is in the valor. There is power when you speak up, especially when you are the expert of what you're speaking up about. You know what your generation needs. You know where the areas of opportunity exist. We need your input and your impact. We need you to keep fighting for what you believe in. We need you. You need you. Your peers need you to persist. For some of the greatest movements, the greatest moments have come directly from the voice and action of the youth. The inspiring civil rights icons, change makers, and risk takers were young and black people who stood up and stood in their truth and stood up for what was right. Your voice and your vision were gifted to you as your birthright. So speak up clearly without trepidation when your perspective and your voice is called to the room. Create change with intention and sincerity, and never forget that you are the present and the future, and our world changing begins with you. Thank you.